Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today, here we are. Finally, we're going to go ahead and rank the Wheel of Time Season 1 episodes. So I have set up this tier list. It's just literally just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to rank them in order of my favorite to least favorite. So number 1 is going to be my favorite. Number 8 is my least favorite. And I'm going to do them in like no particular order. I'm going to try to go by based on the images that I have set up. So it's a little more random, a little more fun. And with each episode, I'm going to give a little description of what I liked about it, what I didn't like. So yeah, this will, like I said before, this will basically cover my Wheel of Time stuff until we start talking about Season 2, or just random other little stuff like speculations on what I liked that they changed or what I didn't. You know, just whatever random stuff pops in my head. Or if you have any other Wheel of Time type subjects based on the TV show or any comparison TV show book stuff you want me to talk about, let me know about that in the comments down below. I'm sure we can work in a random video, especially since I think I got some more Wheel of Time paintings that need to be done. So I'm probably going to do another painting, and that'd be a nice little thing to pair with the painting. So yeah, let me know about that in the comments down below. So before we get started, let me, as always, say, please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And let's begin. So let's start off immediately. Let's just go ahead and grab this first image and see where we can place it. So this first image is of Nynaeve going Super Saiyan mode, which is her episode 4 episode. So episode 4 is the Dragon Reborn. That's the episode where Nynaeve does her cool Super Saiyan stuff. That's where we also get to meet Logain, and we get a lot of interesting interaction between the Aes Sedai and Nynaeve and stuff, and then we get to see how they're holding him, and then we get some interesting action sequences. So I kind of really like that episode. That episode's not one of the best, but definitely not one of the worst. So I'm going to have to probably, I mean, it's the 4th episode, so I think we're going to go ahead and put, I mean, it's 4, so it only makes so much sense. So we're going to go and put 4 at number 4. So I think that's my 4th favorite episode, is episode 4. How appropriate. So next one is number 3. Number 3, I might need to change these around a little. I started on my first one, and I'm already thinking about I might need to change some stuff. I'm sorry. So that's because episode 3, A Place of Safety. I don't know. I like that episode a lot because that's the episode where we get a dark friend. We get it to like slow down a little bit. We get to see this interaction with Matt and Rand a lot. Like we get to see actually everybody. We get a decent individual kind of self-contained interaction, which I like a lot. And just the way the episode ended with the White Spring Inn and just all the stuff, and then just all of that kind of way that episode ends, I just really like it. So I think I actually have to put that one at number 4 and probably put episode 4 at number 5. We're going to see if that needs to change again. So this list is already fluctuating. It's already unstable. It's just started, we unstable. All right, so let's go. Episode number 2. Episode number 2. So I have such mixed emotions about episode 2. I loved it so much when I first was watching it, when I just, was blazing through them. I really liked all of them. I was just so happy to get this adaptation and stuff. I was just super hype about it. So that's probably why I was like extra happy. But like, I'm of two minds about the White Cloaks because I hate Child Valdez so much. The actor is brilliant because I've never, apart from like Joffrey from Game of Thrones, I have not interacted or come in contact with the character on a show that has made me immediately hate them so much. I haven't encountered that kind of acting like that was just that well done. But apart from that, the episode felt very slow. It felt like a lot of the pacing of the first episode, while I feel like a lot of the pacing of the first episode was too rushed, it felt like it came to such a screeching halt in the second one. It's like there's a lot of interesting stuff, like the Manetheren stuff. I kind of dig that, and just some of that stuff. But like the ferryman and all of that was like, like some of the CGI was wonky. So I don't know. I wasn't really feeling that that episode a whole lot. The second episode. So I'm gonna have to rank the second episode So I'm going to have to put the second episode right down. We're just going to keep going straight down. So we're going to have to put episode 2 at number 6. So yeah, I think that's pretty appropriate because the stuff that I liked about it was not nearly enough to kind of bring the episode up. Some of the writing was a little clunky. Some of the acting, you could still feel like they were getting in their stride and stuff. But I just really like that Manetheren part, but I don't think that's enough to really bump it up too much. So the next one we have is episode 1, the pilot, Leave Taking. So I already kind of mentioned it a little bit, but I want to talk about it again, obviously. The pacing in that episode was so breakneck. Like, as somebody who read the first book and like, you know, the preceding other books, like as somebody who's familiar with the books and stuff, I kind of knew what was going on, so I was able to like hold on to it very fast. But anybody else who hasn't been reading, I feel like that first episode probably left them behind. Like a lot of it just kind of happened so fast. We get barely any real character interactions based on the dynamics they want to push forth in the later episodes. Like we get some Matt, Perrin, and Rand, which just a little bit, but like it's not done. It doesn't feel consistent with the direction that the show went, and the pacing was just way too breakneck for me, especially considering the way it comes to a screeching halt in the second episode. So for the very first episode, Leave Taken, I think I have to put that one at. Actually, we're gonna. I can't quite decide, so we're gonna double up some of these and then probably make a final adjustment at the end. Let's try that, because as you can tell, like even as I think about these episodes, I feel like my opinion of it changes too a little bit. Like, because I don't want to drop that too low, but I've already established these in this position, so I'm gonna put that at a number 4. Because I have I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna leave it at 5. I'm gonna leave it at 5 right now and see if it needs to change in comparison with the rest of them. So yeah, let's just keep going. Episode 5. Now, episode 5 I liked. I liked mainly because we got a good amount of Perrin Wolf Brothers stuff. We got some actual like stuff going on. But like while I understand why they didn't have Perrin kill Child Valda, I really hate that they set it up like that. Like it feels like we're coming to the end of like a concerto or something, and there's like no final movement. There's no climax. It just felt like all of the wolf stuff built up. Like he's getting tortured. He got the weird lick from the other wolf in the previous episode and stuff. Like he's just like going through all this immense pain and everything. And he finally kind of breaks out. And he's got his little enhanced strength and everything. And we finally got Perrin Golden Eyes. And then it results in nothing. I mean, the wolves do show up and stuff, but there's just not enough direct conscious understanding of it. Even in the first book, and as confusing as that first book can be, honestly, like I feel like that was one of the things I had the best grasp on. When he met Elias and stuff, I kind of understood all that. And the fact that we don't have Elias in here, and all the Wolf Brother stuff is just being played so vague and just so overly subtle to me, it frustrates me. But I still really did like it. I like the glimpses of Egwene's strength and stuff, like how much resolve she has, just how hardcore she can be when she needs to, how determined she was to help Perrin and everything. I just like all that stuff. And then we get all the other stuff that's going on at the tower. I'm like, oh, all that stuff is really good. All those interactions are good. So I think we're about to jump basically into the top 3 right now, if you couldn't tell, because everything I got to say about that episode was pretty good. But like my only issue, like I said, is that we get all this build up of the wolf stuff, and then Perrin doesn't do anything. I kind of want to see him go vicious berserker. I kind of want to see that. I need to see that. Because like we have to justify him throwing the axe away. So we need to see that. But that will be episode 5. So episode 5, all the stuff at the tower with dealing with the mourning, dealing with Karini's death and everything, all that stuff hit me so hard. Even though some of that plot line I clearly saw coming, but it still hit me really hard. So I think I'm gonna, without regret, I'm gonna have to put that one at number 1. Like, so that's, yeah, I think it might change at the end of the final shuffle up, but yeah, the more I think about it, the more it's just, look, I'm just smiling like the episode. I just like it a lot. So yeah, I think I'll have to. So the morning stuff, I felt this as an empath. That joke just hit me. It hit me. So yeah, let's go on to the next one. That's episode 6. Another great episode. That's the one I want to say. Yeah, number 6 is called "The Flame of Tarvalin," where we get to actually meet Swan Sanche. I think apart from episode 8. Episode 6 has the best cold open. I love seeing the backstory of Swan. It somehow made me like book Swan even more. Like that has yet to happen. Like that's happened sometimes with other adaptations, where something they'll do in the adaptation will make me enjoy the original version a little more because it recontextualizes a little bit. But like this is the only time this first season has done that for me for the books, and it made me like Swan more. Like and especially where she is in the books now, like I'm still holding some of that background and stuff attached to her. So I don't know. It makes her like one of my favorite characters. But like just all that stuff that we get on her background. background, like her interactions with Moraine. Like, I was so happy that, yes, we're keeping the fact that they're in this together, that they know what's going on. They've been working on this since the woman had that vision and everything. So we've been doing all that. But a huge but is the fact that the stuff that they changed about their backstory and the stuff that they know in order to kind of fit in this in order to make the entire Emmonsfield group relevant instead of just the three guys, the changes they made to make that work kind of it flubs up everything, and as a result it makes them come across a little less intelligent, because their ultimate plan to literally just yeet the Dragon Reborn at the freaking Dark One is so stupid. Like, and I thought that was just like a, this is the plan we have right now. We're going to try to figure something out. Something's going to happen. It didn't, like, even when they were just basically saying, yeah, the others are going to die and we're just going to have to do. I'm like, it's just nothing about it makes sense, especially in context of what I know about Moraine and Swan, like how smart they are. They've been dealing with this for 20 years. They've been plans on top of plans inside of plans and all this kind of stuff. Like, and then just for them to be like, well, I guess I don't know who it is. Let's just throw them in, like, let's just see how it works out. I was like, the episode would have been a perfect episode for me. I think it would have been like S tier, going beyond my number one favorite or something, if it just wasn't for just the complete fall apart of the logic of it. Just their level of intelligence was majorly stepped down because of the flub in the writing. Like, I mean, maybe it's not a flub, maybe it'll all make more sense later on, but like, quite frankly, the way the season ended proves that it wasn't thought through that well. So yeah, but either way, I still really like the episode, so I'm gonna have to put that as my number 2. It might change in the final shuffle up, but I think that's pretty solid. 5 and 6, I really love those episodes. I was super gushing about those episodes. So let's take a look at the last 2. I've already talked crap about one of them, so let's look at the other one. Episode 7, Dark Along the Ways. So, Dark Along the Ways. Oh, such a mixed bag. So many of these episodes are such a mixed bag for me. So, the Waygates and stuff, I really like that bit in the books. I thought, because to me, honestly, Loyal has always felt like an extradicious character. He's always been just extra. He's never really had a true solid reason to be a part of the story, in my opinion. And having the Waygates be a thing of the Ogier and all that kind of stuff, I thought was a solid arcing thing, because I was like, okay, if that's the case, then maybe they'll adapt it in the show to like the Waygates, and maybe more stuff is pure Ogier stuff and you can't do any channeling and stuff. So like, to give legit more necessity to the Ogier apart from him just, wanting to write the story. And part of me is like, dude, where are you right now where I am in the books? Because this is some major stuff happening right now. You should be right there. But like, yeah, we'll talk about that in the Towers of Midnight review. But it's just like, but so it kind of, sorry, I'm getting all off track thinking about it too much. But the way they did the Waygates in the show, I don't like the fact that it's just a simple Taangriel. Yeah, it would be a Taangriel. Like, and they just channel into it and it just does what it, I don't like that. I think that it makes Loyal feel even less necessary, and it kind of takes one of the coolest things about explaining the way the Ogiers can, what they do with architecture and all this stuff. It kind of takes that away, so I really don't like that. And then the way them going through the Waygates in the books, I enjoyed that. It felt very creepy. It felt like you didn't know what was going on and stuff. But, I mean, yes, it's dark in there and stuff, but like, I don't know why. In my head, I think it was more the equivalent of, in Lord of the Rings, them running around the dwarf kingdom or whatever, where everything around them was dark, but there was still so much light around where you were, and they're just the way that was honestly directed. You have so much scale for where they are. So it just, I don't know, because in the show, it just comes off as this very smushed in, small, just darkness. Like, it's weird. It felt so underwhelming. Even Ma Shin like felt underwhelming, because I thought you were always dealing with those whispers and stuff like that, but then it catches up to you and just rips you apart, not just catch up to you and start talking shit in your ears. Like, I don't know, all of that. And then the logic of Nynaeve just actively channeling the way she did, I'm like, I don't like that. Like, because that just kind of goes against a lot of stuff. I don't like that. So I didn't care for that. But I liked all the Faldara stuff. Like, so all the Waygate stuff, all the traveling through the Waygate, I didn't like. And of course, that was also when we lost Barney too. But, completely not the fault of the writers or anything like that. But I mean, I'm not counting that negative, but that is something that did hit me because he's my favorite actor of the entire cast this first season. Marcus is really good, but he didn't get enough. That's always a parent problem. Never enough parent. So the Faldara stuff, I really like that. I like the settings. I like the sets. I like the costuming. I like the actors. They really felt like Borderlanders and stuff. I liked it all. All of it just kind of really came together. But, another but. So this episode has two buts. So while I liked all the Faldara stuff, all the world building, and all the actual people that were there, like the guy whose name I will never remember for whatever reason, and his sister and stuff, like all of them, I really liked them. I liked all of that stuff. But then it's like the show knew we haven't had any proper character interaction. Like our main party hasn't really talked to each other in a while, so let's have them talk to each other. And then we get them in this situation, a stupid fucking argument happens where they confirm that apart from Machin and Shin having confirmed it already, like Perrin having a crush on Egwene, one of the worst changes. Like, if you're gonna have him have a crush on Egwene, why give him a wife? That just makes it needlessly complicated. And then having him killed his wife makes him. It just adds all this guilt on him when that wasn't his issue in the book. It's not all this unnecessary guilt. So it feels ham-fisted and it feels terrible. But part of me thinks the issues that happens in the book need to be changed anyway, because that's also not very satisfying sometimes. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, by the fact that this episode has so many ups and downs, and the up is like just a little anthill, and all the downs are like pretty solidly down, this is another one that's kind of perfect. Well, episode 7 goes to rank 7. Yeah, I super enjoyed them all so much at the time. I was so hyped, especially if you like watch my reactions and stuff, and even my reviews. I'm still very hype about it and stuff. It's like I was just so excited on the first try, but like when I rewatched the whole season like a couple times since then, and I'm like, man, some of this stuff could have been a lot better. I'm like, I would have changed this, I would have changed this, I wouldn't have wrote it like that. So just a lot of that's happening. So, and same for episode 8. So if you all remember my reactions or my review to the finale and stuff, I was super hype. I thought it was cool. I was interested in the stuff they changed and everything. But like looking back at it now, I mean, granted, I had criticisms even then. I'm pretty sure I even criticized in my review video. But like now, I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is my least favorite. So we're going to go ahead and put that at 8. So that's my least favorite because all the logic of the show kind of falls apart. So I already explained the issue that I had when Moraine and Swan was talking about basically just yeeting the dragon at the Dark One, which was legit her plan. I'm going to give you this Sangreal that you just are going to know how to use, despite the fact that you don't really know how to channel. And then after I gave you the exact wrong advice on how to channel, because I shouldn't be able to teach you how to channel, because Saidin and Saidar are like, no. So just all of that is so dumb. And then telling me about the blight and stuff. We find out about the blight and like all that corruption and everything. And then immediately y'all sit down and take a nap. I'm like, but then like that dream that he had, I'm like, that dream makes perfect sense. Because yes, it should have started creeping up on you. Because she literally just said, it's dangerous. You shouldn't stay here for very long. We shouldn't sit here for very long. But then you're going to take a nap? Like, why? I don't get it. And then there is issues of suddenly it's evening in the Blight, but it wasn't evening in Faldara. And then they're all the way at the Eye of the World. And then Egwene and Nynaeve go out to help the other people at Faldara. But it's like just now sunset there. It's like there's inconsistency in the continuity at a time or whatever. You can say like maybe the Blight is all darkness all the time or whatever. So maybe it made time, like it's made it seem like it got darker quicker with them, or just the scenes weren't cut together. I don't know. There's just, after looking at it again, I could write a list of issues. Like, so just issues. And not even just from a book person perspective. Like, there are issues. But yeah, I digress. So one of the things that I thought was cool, though, that I think a lot of people were criticizing, was that shot of Rand holding the Sangreal out and like actually blasting the not Dark One, who was, he better be a Forsaken, quite frankly. And then that's the issue I also have. How is anybody supposed to know that that's supposed to be a Forsaken when the only mention of the Forsaken we get is when the guy whose name I can't remember, the guy who eventually kills himself, is praying amongst the little figurines of the who it look like a bunch of Chuodon calls, quite frankly. Like, but he's just like praying amongst the little figurines of the Forsaken and stuff. Like, that's the only interaction with the Forsaken. That's the only mention of them that we have. So there is no setup. There are no breadcrumbs left. There is no way for anybody who hasn't read the books to have any sort of clue that that wasn't the Dark One. Like, yeah, it's just, it's so clumsy and it's so trippy. It's like making it to the finish line and kind of tripping up a bit, but like kind of still making it across a little bit. I don't know. All right. That's me. Because otherwise, I'm just gonna start ranting and, well, more than I already am, just rambling more and more and more. So let's take a look at this list. Let's see. Okay, so episode 1. That is the one where I am stuck. I don't think number 1 is top 3 material at all. I actually, looking at episode 4 where Nynaeve goes Super Saiyan. When I think back at that episode, the stuff that happens in it, but I also really like Tom's introduction, and I like the Dark Friend thing. I think I want to do it. Oh, I don't like that though. That almost makes me put them in chronological order. So I really like the Dark Friend situation, and I really like Tom's introduction, even though he is kind of different from the books. But I just kind of like this energy he has. And then, but I think I enjoy that entire. I think this episode, from a character standpoint, I think I like this episode probably. I don't know. I like all of these. I like these two the best from a character standpoint. But I think, yeah, I think it's more like this. Oh, can I move it? Okay. Yeah, I think it's more like that. Yeah. I think I'm comfortable with that. Favorite episodes, episode 5. Second is episode 6. And then third favorite is episode 3. Then fourth favorite is episode 4. My fifth favorite, well, now I guess we're getting to not favorite so much, is episode 1. Then we get episode 2. Then episode 7. And my least favorite is the season finale. So my list is 5, 6, 3, 4, 1, 2, 7, 8. All right, let me know what your all's list is in the comments down below. How do you feel about the episodes of the first season? How do you rank them? Let me know. Yeah, let me know about that in the comments down below. Let me know, do you all think like my choices are like just out there? Like, is it goofy or something? Is it so completely different than y'all's? Let me know about that. I'm really interested to know, because I think from what I was seeing on Twitter, like as it was going, you know, people were putting out their rankings and stuff on Twitter. Like as we were going, I'm like, ooh, I don't feel that way. I thought that episode was awesome. Like, oh, I didn't feel so. I was just really curious to know like how different our stuff is. So yeah, let me know about that in the comments down below. So as always, make sure you all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I will talk to y'all next time. Peace.